let's get right into it. This Westin HDX light bar, pro light bar, they call this a light bar even though there's no light in it, which screwed me up. We're going to be painting and installing it. I want to talk about it quickly before we get started though. If you watched my full build walk around video where I talked about this and I said two things. I said one is that it's going to cover these holes, but it's like $500 or $600. I was wrong about both of those things. The first thing is that it doesn't go in these holes. That was a stupid statement, to be honest with you. I don't know why I was confused about that. It must have been the pictures. I don't know. But first of all, it can't go in these holes because you can't get to the winch, right? You can't. They wouldn't do that. It goes from these holes, the same place that they connect the pre-runner bar. Take a look here. See that? The next thing is that I said $500 or $600. I was wrong about that, but here's why I was wrong. The $500 or $600 number, it's like $550 or something. It's this and the light bar that fits in this light bar. It's the Westin light, but you don't have to get that. I thought it was like a packaged thing where you had to get it. You can get this separately, clearly, right? So I bought this. I think this is the last one on the planet. Everything is now discontinued. This bumper you can't get anymore. They have a new one out already. You can't get this light bar. You can't get the pre-runner bar. You can't get anything. This is like literally the last one on the planet. I picked it up. It was like $240 or something like that. I'll link to the Westin page where they have it. It says it's out of stock, but I believe it's discontinued, not just out of stock. And you can see the model number and everything. And you'll see you cannot find this model number anywhere. So I did get a light though. I didn't get the Westin one. I got the 4WDKing that matches these, but I got a 20-inch one. It's a 20-inch single row spot. $80. So in reality, this costs $240 plus $80. So $320. I think it was worth it for sure. And I actually really like the fact that it goes from here to there because originally when I thought it went from here to here, I was like, it's kind of small, right? This I think looks good. Now, clearly, we have a problem where I painted these bumpers, if you remember, if you watched the video, if you haven't, everything's linked in the description. I sanded and painted these bumpers because I got them used. I paid $1,000 for the front and back. They're like $3,500 new. So I got an incredible deal. I was like 2 hours away. But I had to sand them and paint them. This is a little bit darker than this. It kind of matches the grill. And for a second there, I said, maybe I should just install it because it kind of blends into the grill. But I think I would rather it match the bumper so it looks like a bigger bumper, if that makes sense. I think that's the right move. And it's very simple to paint it. We're just going to use that same Rust-Oleum bed liner paint. I'll show it to you. And we're going to get it hung up outside on a tree. No, we're not going to do it on a tree. We'll do it on the flat ground on a trailer. And all I need to do really is paint the front and the top and the bottom. I don't need to do the back. So it's very easy to do. 2 seconds. All right, let's get started because there's too much talking. Okay. Truck bed, pro grade, black. I'll show you a close-up of it. The one I used on the bumper is this turbo spray because it was bigger, but I'm just using the regular one on this. There's no reason to use that big crazy turbo spray one. And sorry about the light that we got going on here, but I'm trying to get out of the wind because I don't want to coat my entire garage. Painted and dried. I just had it in front of the wood stove for an hour and a half and it dried up no problem. Looks great. It's a dead-on match as it should be. Obviously the bumper is a little bit dirty, so it may look, maybe it looks a hair different, but the bumper's got salt on it, it's got dirt, it's got a whole bunch of stuff. And this is brand new, but it is absolutely a dead-on match for sure. While I was waiting for it to dry, let me put this down here. While I was waiting for it to dry, I wired up this light. This is the 4WDKing light that I'll be installing on it. We'll do it right now. It's pretty simple. The wiring that I did is the same as that last video. I'll link it in the description, where I wired these up. Exact same thing. While I was under there, actually, I cleaned some things up, put some wire loom in different places. I actually cut some wires and shortened them and tried to make it a little bit neater, and I think it is neater. This light $80. I think I mentioned that in the beginning of the video. And it came with, I'll tell you, it came with this entire wiring hookup deal. I was pretty surprised at this. And it's a lot longer than this because I cut a piece off to use it. But yeah, it comes with a switch. It comes with a relay. Huh. And then it comes with probably, I don't even know, maybe 8-10 feet of wire. Red and black all the way to a plug right here. So all I did was cut that length off. You can see how, and I could use this for something else if I wanted to in the future, but it has a fuse holder. The fuse is in it. For $80, you're getting the 20-inch single row light bar, and you get this entire wire hookup. That's a pretty good deal. Usually, you know, sometimes you got to buy a kit to do that sort of thing. For these two, you had to buy a kit if you wanted to. Obviously, I didn't. I just used I used to use the wire. See that video again. But this one, it's already covered with some like real nice sheathing. So I just used it. We'll save this for the future. Again, the plug is coming out right in here. It's a 10 amp fuse. That's what it is, a 10 amp fuse. And let's get this light bar on. All right, I just realized it would be easier to put the 4WD King light in now before we actually put it onto the bumper, because then we'll be trying to figure out how to get it behind. So let's get this hardware out. This is the hardware that comes with the light. This is the light. Obviously, this is a cover. It's not a blue light. These are the brackets that come with it, but I don't think we'll be using those brackets. I think we'll be using the brackets that come with the Westin light bar. And they also come with these little rubber pieces, which is interesting. Here's the brackets. And I think this is going to make a lot more sense to do it like that. Something I did notice here, which you probably will be able to see, is that it looks like the brackets aren't even. They're not straight. So it is what it is. I'm not really too worried about that. You can see a little piece of plastic here, and you can't see it here. That's fine. Other than that, I think we're good. Let's get it up there and in. We got to stick our bolt through there, and our bolt through there. All right, before we go nuts here, let's take this thing off. Yeah, something's not right here. Well, I've been staring at this for a while, and I think I have figured out what the problem is. As you can tell, obviously, that this light bar is on a bit of an angle, and it's probably about 3/4 of an inch off. And it's taken actually putting on this light bar to realize what actually is the problem, and that's the bumper. The bumper is not on correctly, if you can believe that. The bumper is off by a bit, and it's a little too far to the passenger side, and it's a little too low on the driver's side. And since it's a little too low on the driver's side, clearly the light bar is going to be too low on the driver's side, as you could probably tell. So I got that jack there, and I have loosened up the bolts on the bumper. We got to move the bumper. And I am hoping that I can move the bumper just like it is now, or else we're going to have a little bit of an issue. I only think I need to move it towards the driver's side, maybe a half an inch, and then I have to get another jack and jack it up maybe a half an inch. That's what I'm thinking. 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch, or a half an inch and half an inch. I'm not really sure yet. Let's see if we can get this. Am I off camera? No, I'm on camera. All right, let's see if we can move this thing. This is going to be interesting. Okay, that moved. I almost think it moved too much. it's it's off on the other side now. Let's see, actually, you know what? Maybe that's going to help me. Let's get the other jack. Let's take a look now. Well, it's better. Well, I think this is about the best I can do. It's still off maybe an 1/8 or 3/16. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but we know that the bumper is off now. I'd rather the bumper be off than this. I think that that's obvious. This thing is very strong, I have to say. Now, it is 1/2-inch bolts, so they are, strong bolts, but it's a lot stronger than I thought it was going to be. It's not bending. It's not moving at all, really, at all. I'm very happy with the strength of it. These rubber gaskets, they're maybe 3/32 thickness. I think this is for squeaking, but I also think that since it's kind of going around a corner here, they needed something to make sure that everything was tight. And I think this really is actually a very important part to this installation, this rubber piece. I really believe that, because if two pieces of metal sandwiched between rubber, very difficult to get it to move. That rubber acts as almost like glue in a way when it's tight. So that's it. I'm going to run it just like this with the white light, and we're going to see what happens. And maybe in the future I'll do a review just on 4-wheel drive King lights in general, because now I'll have a second type of light, and the light bar single row 20-inch. I'll link this in the description. The light bar. I'll link this in the description too, but obviously it's discontinued. And that's it. All right. Man, I can't believe I had to move that bumper. All right, everyone. Catch you in the next one. See ya.